Hello again guys. Right, this is video 2 of my new firebox, and before I do any more changes, I've changed my mind again, and before I do any more changes or do any more alterations, what I want to do is try this sawdust burn, because I've realised that this may actually need more airflow than the stove's currently giving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with sawdust now and see if I can get it to burn. So I'll move you in closer and I'll show you how I load the sawdust into a rocket stove to burn. Some of you probably already know how to do this, so anyway, this is an old guy showed me this many years ago, about 20 years ago. He showed me how to burn sawdust actually on a conventional stove, and it works really well. And this this actually works better on shavings, wood shavings, but it will burn sawdust. It just burns a little bit slower because it's packed together tighter. There's nothing for the fire to catch to, so it literally just burns on the surface of the sawdust. If you use something that's less packed together, like shavings, wood shavings, they will burn a lot better because there's more for the fire to sort of get hold of. Right, so I'm going to show you how I do this. I'm just going to put these two pieces of card on to stop any shavings going down the and the air intakes there. So I've dropped them two bits of card on. Now what I need to do is make a path into the riser tube. So I'm going to put that piece of timber in there like that. I'm just going to stick it into the riser tube about 4 or 5 inches, and I'm going to put this tube, I think I'll put it there because it would be probably easy to clean out there, actually about there, a few inches back, and I'm going to angle it that way. So what I now do is pour the sawdust in. You can see this stuff, what I mean, it's very fine sawdust, and it just comes off my saw bench, off the radial arm saw, and it's just various muck that's brushed up off the floor, sawdust, and off things like my sander, this, that and the other, so it is very fine. So I'm going to dump all this in there, and this is one bucket obviously of sawdust. Get all that in. Ideally I'd have a slightly bigger tube than this. This tube's a bit of insulation. It's probably 2.5 inches. 3.5 inch tube would be better, but it's actually all I've got. So that's one bucket gone in so far. All I need to do is just pack this down a bit. I'll just find a rammer for that, something to ram it down with. So here I've got a piece of wood. I'm just going to use it to pack that sawdust down there. Because I don't want it, because I'm going to burn this sawdust down this hole, so I don't want the hole collapsing prematurely. Who misses? Right, that's one bucket, and it's not quite filled half the fire. Here's bucket number 2. Oh, get the card. Let me fill my air slots up with sawdust if I can help it. Might be better to use some kind of pan on this so that it's not going all over the floor as well. There you go. Go on, get in. That's 2 buckets, which will be 10 gallon. Take that off a minute. I've not fixed the door yet. I've literally done nothing on this stove since last night when I did the last video, and I was going to show you this last night, but I just thought there's people probably going to want to know the dimensions and sizes and things of this firebox, so rather than doing yet another video on it, I would just stick the dimensions and the plans to build this. I'll tag that on the end of this video. Right guys, so I'm going to move back a bit now. I'm going to show you what I do next. Now what I need to do now is just carefully pull that back out of there, and if successful I should have a path now directly into the riser tube. And what I also need to do now carefully is take that out of there. And if I'm lucky, which I think I am, we should have a path straight through into the riser tube, which we have. Right, so if you see there now, we've got a path directly down into the riser through the hole, and that's what I'm going to use to burn the fuel. And we've got the little hole on the front there, which is another path into the riser. So I'm going to try and light this now. Fingers crossed we'll get it burning. I'll reposition this. As I was saying, last night I was burning the stove, and I came in the workshop. I think it was 10:15 last night. I came in and it was still burning. Actually, this morning when I came in, the charcoal was still alight. So, you know, it's virtually burnt all night. I'm going to put that taper down there. You can see now that is drawing straight away down that hole. So I don't need that air vent on the front open. I can close that off. And I'm probably going to need something, a little touch of white spirit in there to actually get this burning from around the top. Zoom out a bit. You can now see that is burning down the hole in the sawdust, and it's entering the riser tube and starting its burn. Now what will happen is, as this burns away, that hole will get progressively bigger and bigger, because it will only burn from that hole, so the hole will get bigger, and eventually the whole sawdust box will collapse in on itself, and it should burn away to virtually nothing. That's what I'm hoping. But so far that looks okay. We're hot already on the top of the rocket stove. Say this stuff won't burn as well as shavings will, because they're very, very small particles, but you can see there it is actually burning. I'll put the lid back on now. The glass is slightly fogged over there because the air vents were closed down last night, so it's just built up inside the firebox and fogged it up a little bit. This will burn off as the heat starts to come in. As the heat comes up from them sides and comes across, it will burn this bit of tarry residue off the glass. And you'll be able to just wipe it clean with a cloth then. Well, you can see there now that is burning, quite well. That's pretty good, and this is probably the best way to burn sawdust on a stove. Right guys, that's that for now. Right, well, it's been exactly an hour since I lit this sawdust, and it's burnt really well. It's burning really well. The hole, I should have made the hole bigger like I thought in the first place, because it was difficult to get the actual thing burning. So a 3.5, 4-inch pipe would be ideal next time I burn these fine shavings. I did have to drop a couple of sticks down the tube in order to heat it up and then start the burning process, but that's what it's like after burning for an hour. There isn't actually enough side draft to burn that, so it does need more draft, because what I had to do was I had to prop the lid open slightly in order to get enough air in to burn that sawdust. And what it's done, it's mucked the glass up a bit with the gases coming off the sawdust. So I am going to continue to burn sawdust in this stove, so I'm going to make them air vents slightly bigger. Well, I reckon should burn for a couple of hours, and the temperatures that this is giving off now is, you see, yeah, 625 degrees, which it's not bad for some junk that I would normally throw in the bin. So I'm pleased with that. Well, it's been nearly 2.5 hours and the sawdust is nearly spent. That's really pleased with that. 2.5 hours of burning on them couple of buckets of sawdust. It's nice and warm in here. It's 18 degrees C. I'll just open that up. There is actually still some sawdust left in there. Just along this side here, a couple of inches. You know, that's still burning. I've just disturbed it to get it fired up. The stove's putting out. Stove is putting out about 300 degrees. Just measured it. Where are we at? Oh, there you are. Yeah, 300 degrees. All in all, successful. I am going to open them side vents up. I think I've already said that, haven't I? Yeah, and I'm going to build 2 little boxes that stick out off the side, and then I'm going to build some proper air control little flaps or vents or sliders or something onto them. Okay, I'm going to give you the dimensions of this firebox now, and across the front I've got 11 inches. Across the depth is 10.5. Obviously 10.5 that side, and the back I've got 8 3/4. The actual depth on the front is 17 inches. I think there's 2 inches more on the back. Yeah, 19 inches on the back. As you can see, it took 2 5-gallon buckets of sawdust. So that's the volume inside. Now them little plates inside are approximately 5/8 of an inch away from that side, so you've got a 5/8 of an inch gap inside there in order for the air to travel up and across. And the opening on this is 7, it's same as the glass size, isn't it? 7, 8 1/4, 5 1/2. The little flaps are welded on there are 1 1/4 long, or 1 1/4 wide. I'll just show you in here. This material I use, this fireproofing, you see it there, it has stood up quite well to the heat. I measured the temperature on it, and it's actually too hot to measure, but the temperature on this side of it, it's too hot inside, which means it's over 1000 Fahrenheit. The temperature on this side was 300 Fahrenheit. So but I don't think that stuff is going to last long enough in there. What's happened with that back piece is all I had was some silicone that's rated to 300 centigrade. So I just stuck it on with that because really I just wanted to try that stuff. But the silicon's obviously burnt out and degraded, and that backboard has actually curled a little bit. The piece at the front looks fine, but long term I don't think that stuff's going to hold up. And I was trying to think of the name of it. It's actually a fireboard. It's used to line buildings for some fire protection. It's about 1/4 inch thick, but no, it's no good inside a burn chamber. I will get some proper fireboard for it, maybe 1 inch thick, 3/4 inch thick stuff, and line it with that front and back. Right guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe and like if you like, and I'll catch you in the next vid. Bye for now. Right guys, I'll get the instructions now for this firebox, the dimensions and measurements up for you next, so anyone who wants to have a go can have a go themselves.